Good afternoon. How are you doing? Welcome to this video session. We'll be addressing the topic of dissertation preparation. My name is Dr. Vire, and welcome to this session. The purpose of this is more or less for an introspective look of your own goals, objectives, and what you're hoping to achieve via your dissertation. If you're looking to do your dissertation just to earn your degree, not trying to sound like your father, shame on you. Your dissertation needs to speak for you after you've earned it and had your doctorate conferred onto you. It needs to represent you in whether it's criminal justice, management, marketing, homeland security, healthcare, whatever field it is. You are to be viewed as a subject matter expert in that area. Period. So what are you going to contribute to that pool of knowledge, and what do you want to be known as a result of that? Great. That's the big picture. Now, that's the end product. How do we get to that point? And I say we because it's a learning process. I continue to write and so forth, which I highly recommend and enjoy that you do it, whether you have your dissertation completed yet or not. It's valuable and important. The old publisher perish thing definitely holds true, but that's a topic for another little video vignette, if you will. So, having said that, let's look at some of the things that I want to go over now, and this will be the basis for your completion of the discussion board and hopefully provoke some conversations between you and your peers in the course room here. So the first point is, how do you envision your preparation for your research for your dissertation? Let's go over all the questions and we'll address them one by one. Do you feel comfortable with the concept of academic research? And pardon me while I read off the screen here. And do you feel adequately prepared to engage in research in the academic level and be able to sufficiently identify credible resources? Okay, this is the reflective part. Are you able to distinguish between academic credible resources and those that may be questionable? And this is where you really have to open up and say, hey, these are this, and this as areas of weakness. And that's fine. You don't view it as areas of weakness, you view it as areas of growth. So you have to start training your brain to think that way. When you're looking at resources, look at the resource itself. Does it come from an accredited journal, a peer-reviewed journal? Is the author highly thought of in the industry, whatever the pertinent industry might be? And another thing is when you're looking at academic credibility, how old is the resource? Obviously, John Dewey, he hasn't been with us for decades, but he's classic in the realm of adult education. So that might be considered stale, but it's classic and it's pertinent. Versus, I was on one chair of a committee. I was on a committee, a number of years ago, at a different institution, and the student had a phenomenal literature review, except everything. I mean, literally everything. The newest thing at that time, newest resource was 7 years old. That was it. And the thing was, there was a lot of current information out there he could have utilized, didn't. So, obviously that created a problem, an obstacle for him to get his completed on time, which it took him probably another quarter or session to get it completed. But, so you have to start training yourself. Whether you want to say it's being slightly cynical, more objective, whatever it is, but you have to be willing to open up to that and just say, yes, I'm a great researcher. Okay, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But this is where you have to say, okay, am I looking at it from outside of the Wikipedia world, if you will? Just because it's on the internet does not mean it's so. Obviously, showing my age, when I was doing my research, I had a cup full of quarters, went down to the library and start, killing a couple trees, printing information off. So the internet is a phenomenal resource, and that's part of it. Again, still doing, hands-on research is always good as well, and you're doing your research, your literature review, and so forth. Start thinking about your dissertation now. Others will disagree. I happen to think it's very important as soon as possible to start thinking about the topic of your dissertation. Now, when you're doing your research, does that mean that that is the exact topic you're married to throughout the whole process, beginning, middle, end? No. But if you start, again, cultivating those ideas into your thought processes, and you may not be that, what Thomas Edison said, it took 1,000 failures to get the light bulb to work, and they asked, did that bother him? He said, no, I figured out 1,000 ways for it not to work. The 1,001st was the way that worked. Adopt that philosophy. When you're doing research, you're fine-tuning your research skills, not just for your dissertation, but afterwards as well. So, start getting into that modality of academic research. What's pertinent, what's relevant, does it focus around the dissertation topic? And again, make sure that topic is one that you're comfortable with, because you're going to be married to that topic for quite a long time while you're doing your research and so forth. So, view that and embrace that. It really is almost a cultural and psychological change that you have to go through. But it's one that's well worthwhile. If you fight it, you're going to not, and I use the word enjoy intentionally, you're not going to enjoy the doctoral process and journey. And that's what it is. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a journey. So I want you to enjoy it. I want you to learn from it. I want you to grow from it. Please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. You're very fortunate to be in this class that you have right now, because you have phenomenal resources surrounding you, namely your peers. Utilize them as well. Again, best of luck to you, and we'll talk to you in the next video segment. Have a good day.